stop, breathe. If your attention paused exactly here on this video at this second, among millions of other videos that crossed your screen today, it wasn't by chance. It wasn't the algorithm. It was me. I, Ayala, female emissary of the High Pleiadian Council, adjusted your frequency so that this message would find your field now. And before your mind begins to doubt, I ask for a simple gesture, Starseed. Look at your hands. Yes, your hands. Turn your palms upwards, on your lap, and feel. Feel the gentle tingling that rises through your fingertips. Feel the warmth that pulses in the center of each palm, as if a small dormant sun resided there. Do you notice? It's not cold. It's not neutral. There is a living current dwelling between the lines of your hand, and it has been waiting for decades to be recognized by you. You didn't bring these hands to carry grocery bags. You didn't come to type spreadsheets. You didn't incarnate to wash dishes in silence while your soul screams from inside your chest, "I came to heal." And yet, here you are. Adult with 40, 50, 60 years of life on Earth, and a feeling that never fades, that your hands know something your mouth cannot yet explain. That when you touch someone, a child with a fever, a friend in tears, a frightened dog, a withered plant, something passes through, something settles, something breathes again. And you minimize it. You say it was a coincidence. You laugh at yourself, you feel ashamed, you hide it, because no one taught you to name what comes out of your hands. No one told you that it has a name, an origin, a constellation. No one had the courage to look into your eyes and whisper, "My dear, this that dwells in your hands came from very far away. It came from Alcyone. It came from the Pleiades. And today, by decree of the High Council, the veil of forgetfulness will begin to tear exactly there, through your palms. Stay with me until the end. Because what I came to return to you in this video, no one else is authorized to tell you in this way. And I need you to understand one thing before anything else. You are not hallucinating. You are remembering. Let me describe your life, Starchild, and you tell me within your chest if I am seeing correctly. Since childhood, your hands warm up on their own. You lay your head on the pillow, place your hand on your stomach or chest, and feel a warmth that doesn't come from the sheets. It comes from within, emerges from under your skin, spreads. Many people have told you throughout your life, "Wow, your hand is warm." You laughed. You thought it was sweet, but you never stopped to ask why. You have a specific way of touching those who are suffering, without thinking, as if your arm obeyed an intelligence older than your own. Your palm opens, your fingers slightly spread, and you place your hand exactly where the person needs it, on the middle of their back, on their neck, on their forehead, on their shoulder. And when you touch, the person sighs, as if something that was trapped escaped. And it is precisely for this reason, my dear Starseed, that these sensations in your hands, the warmth, the tingling, the pulse, need to be translated before you treat any of them as a symptom, because each of these sensations is a word from the language your soul spoke before descending here. It was for this exact reason that I, Ayala, received authorization from the High Council to register the Starseed Awakening, the Guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet 60 pages of revelations that decode signal by signal what each movement of your awakening means and what comes next, for you to stop, once and for all, confusing remembrance with illness. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video, but note, this release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognized this, write in the comments now a single word, "I remember." And as that word rises from your chest to your fingers, I continue, because there are more signs I need to show you, and you will recognize them all. Animals seek you out. Street dogs approach. Cats choose your lap among all options in the house. Horses lower their heads when you get close. And you find it beautiful, but you never considered that they are reading, in your vibrational signature, a code that the human race in general no longer emits. Plants come back to life near you. Your neighbor's fern dies, yours doesn't. The orchid they received as a gift and everyone gave up for lost blooms again on your windowsill. You talk to them. You run your hand over their leaves, and they answer you in their silent way. You wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning for no reason, with your hands tingling. A sharp hum crosses your ear, a thin, continuous sound, almost like a tuning signal. You sit there, on the bed, looking at your hands in the dark, and something inside you knows. It knows that it is not a vitamin deficiency. It is not anxiety. It is not menopause. It is something else. You feel the pain of others in your own body. You enter a room and know without needing words who is sad, who is lying, who needs a hug. You come home exhausted after being with many people, as if you had carried someone else's weight. Because you did. Because your hands, even closed, even in your pocket, continue to capture the field of those nearby. And yet, amidst all this, you look in the mirror and think you are common. You think you are exaggerating. You think you are weird. You have thought about seeking a doctor because the tingling in your hands scared you. You thought it was circulation. You thought it was your spine. And every test came back saying what your soul always knew. There is nothing wrong. There never was. What you have, starseed, doesn't fit into a blood test. What dwells in your hands doesn't appear on an MRI, because it's not of the body. It's of the contract. It's of your soul contract. If you recognize 3, 4, 5 of these markers I just described, you are not lost. You are being reminded of who you are. Now open your chest to what I am about to tell you, because what comes now is what remained hidden on the other side of the veil. Millions of years before this incarnation, long before you learned to spell your own name, a specific group of consciousnesses was convened in the courts of Alcyone, the central star of the Pleiadian system. And among these consciousnesses, there was a particular lineage, a family of healers, those who know how to touch matter with the right intention and restore its original order. You were part of that family. You were not observing the meeting, you were seated at the table. There, under the blue-silver light of the Pleiades, it was agreed that a wave of healers would descend to Earth at a very specific moment, not at any time, but precisely in this cycle, exactly in this crossing of the photon belt. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, my dear starseed, why precisely your hands? Why not your feet? Why not your voice? Why not your eyes? Because your soul chose, before birth, the path of healing through touch. And this has a stellar address. This has an origin. It was for this exact reason that I, Ayla, received authorization from the High Council to register the Starseed Awakening, the Guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet. 60 pages that reveal, among many other truths, from which specific star your soul came and why you chose to descend exactly now in this body, with these hands, in this incarnation. The link is in the first pinned comment. But note, this release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes this, write in the comments, I remember, and I resume. Because this family of healers, my seed, accepted a mission that few would accept. Earth is a wounded planet, a planet that lost contact with its own hands. Humans here forgot that the palm was designed on the etheric plane with a vortex, a minor chakra, yes, but of very high power, a portal, a transmitter. And without remembering this, they began to use their hands only to grab, only to hold, only to produce, never to radiate. That's where you came in. You, whom I call the lineage of the golden hands. You came to reactivate in silence what humanity had buried. You agreed to descend, cross the veil of forgetfulness, incarnate in families that often would not understand, and yet maintain deep within your body the code intact. And that is why, my dear, your life was the way it was. That is why you always felt different. That is why you couldn't fit in. That is why it hurt so much. But now the scenario has changed. Now the Schumann resonance, which is Earth's heartbeat, is rising. Now the solar system is crossing a very high photon band. Now the planet's crystalline grid is being reconnected point by point, and each starseed that awakens lights up one of the points on this grid. That's why your hands are pulsing stronger than ever. That's why the tingling has increased in recent months. That's why you started dreaming of ships, of crystal rooms, of tall, luminous beings who run their hands over your body while you sleep. It's not a dream. It's training. It's the council calling you back to the table you left. Now pay attention with your neck, with your chest, with your abdomen, because what I'm going to tell you is technical. It is physical. It is verifiable. and it is rare for anyone to tell you this way. There is, in the center of each palm of your hand, a minor chakra. Ancient spiritual science already knew this, but it was erased from official books. This chakra is a toroidal vortex, a small donut-shaped field that spins, captures subtle energy from the environment, and radiates it. In an ordinary person, these chakras are almost dormant. They work at a minimum, just enough to maintain the hand's temperature. In you, Star Child, these vortices were constructed on the etheric plane with a larger diameter, much larger, and they had been spinning at low rotation because of the veil of forgetfulness, like a large engine that was idling. What is happening right now is simple and grand at the same time. The photon belt, which our solar system is crossing, is increasing the photonic density of your field, and your palmar vortices, which were waiting for exactly this fuel, are accelerating. That's why your hand warms up for no reason. That's why the tingling has increased. That's why sometimes you feel your palm throb, as if there were a tiny heart inside. It's not nerve numbness. It's field rotation. And there is more. There is a filament of light, we of the Council call it the Alcyone thread, that emanates from the central Pleiadian star and connects individually to each star seed of our lineage incarnated here. This filament enters through the top of your head, descends through your spine, and branches towards your two palms. That's why you feel gentle pressure between your eyebrows when you are about to heal someone. That's why your neck tingles when you prepare to touch. You are not imagining it. You are seeing your own filament pulse. And here, my dear starseed, is where I need to tell you something no one has published because they weren't allowed to. The functioning of the palmar vortices, the Alcyone thread, the lineage of the golden hands. None of this is in airport bookstore holistic therapy books. None of this was authorized to reach you in the way it is reaching you now. Therefore, when I, Ayla, received authorization from the High Council to register the Starseed Awakening, the Guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet. A lot was released at once. 60 pages with truths that the world out there still doesn't have the courage to print. That's exactly why the Federation didn't want you to read this yet. The link is in the first pinned comment. But note, this release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes this, write in the comments, "I remember," and I need to warn you of something, my seed, with the same affection with which an older sister warns, the world out there is not prepared for what you are about to become. And yes, a window of turbulence is coming, collective confusion is coming, people questioning what you do, people laughing, people trying to convince you that this is an illusion. Strange fatigue is coming, days when your hands will suddenly feel heavy, nights when you will wake up crying for no reason. This has a name. Recalibration. It's your vibrational baseline rising. It's your body adapting to the new rotation of the vortices. But listen carefully. Listen with your chest, not with your ear. Turbulence is not destruction. Turbulence is the contraction before birth. It is the birth of your gift. And no starseed of this lineage was sent to Earth to fail. This is recorded with your name in the archives of the High Pleiadian Council. The victory of light is not a hope, it is an already signed certainty. And you are part of it. And now, my dear, I will give you two things, two tools that the Council authorized me to place in your hands today. One is spoken, the other felt. One is a quantum decree, the other a toroidal visualization. You will use both tonight, before sleeping, and if possible every night from now on. First, the decree. Pay attention to the exact words, because each syllable carries a light code. You will stand or sit, with your feet on the ground, and you will raise both hands to chest height with palms facing each other, without touching, leaving a space of approximately 8 inches between them. You will close your eyes, and you will say, aloud, because the vibration needs to come from the chest and travel through the air. It cannot stay only in the head. I recognize the sovereignty of my hands. I, daughter or son of the Pleiadian lineage of the Golden Hands, authorize at this moment the full reactivation of my palmar vortices. May the Alcyone thread anchor in me. May the blue-silver light of the Pleiades descend through my crown, Descend through my spine, branch into my arms, and bloom in my palms. I remember who I am, and I consent to be remembered. Repeat 3 times. You will feel it. Perhaps your hands will start to warm more intensely. Perhaps the space between them will become dense, as if there were warm cotton there. Perhaps tears will fall without warning. Let them fall. Every tear that descends at this moment is a layer of the veil dissolving. After the decree comes the visualization. Continue with your hands at chest height. And imagine clearly a blue-silver sphere of light, the exact color of the sky just before dawn, descending from above, entering through your crown, passing through your third eye, descending through your throat, anchoring in the center of your chest. In your chest, this sphere begins to spin, slowly, in a toroidal movement, like a luminous donut spinning around itself, expanding and retracting. Feel this spin. It is your internal Schumann resonance, harmonizing with that of the planet. Now, from this sphere in your chest, 2 filaments of the same blue-silver light emerge towards your shoulders, descend through your arms, reach your elbows, continue through your forearms, cross your wrists, and bloom like 2 small springs in the center of each of your palms. And there, my dear, you will seal. You will imagine your hands approaching each other until they almost touch, and you will perceive the field between them, the ball of light that has formed between your palms. You will bring this ball to the top of your head and pour it into yourself, into your field, and you will declare mentally, anchored, sealed, sovereign, done. You have just officially activated what has been waiting for you your entire life, and I need to warn you, with the tenderness of an older sister who has walked this road, that the first few days after doing this are intense. You will feel strange people wanting to touch you. You will hear dogs barking differently. You will dream ancient things. You will remember faces your mind forgot. Don't be scared. This is the field responding. This is the crystalline grid recognizing you. And if in the midst of this you feel loneliness, a specific, deep, almost howling loneliness, as if you were the only person awake in a sleeping world, do not run from it. Listen to what this loneliness is trying to tell you. This loneliness, my dear starseed, has a very ancient name. It is not depression. It is not a lack of friends. It is longing for your family of light, longing for your star brothers and sisters who remained on the other side of the veil and who continue to call you every night by the same affectionate nickname they used before you descended. You did not come here alone. You have never been alone. There are others, many others, of the same lineage of the Golden Hands, incarnated right now on this planet, looking for you. And it was precisely for this reason that I, Ela, received authorization from the High Council to register the Starseed Awakening, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet. 60 pages that show how to recognize your family of light here on Earth, the gesture, the gaze, the way of touching, the signs by which they identify each other. The loneliness of a lifetime ends when you learn to read this map. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. But note, this release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes this, write in the comments. I remember, you have never been alone. And there comes a time, my dear, when you stop asking why me and start asking what now. There comes a time when the shame of being different turns into pride in being remembered. There comes a time when you look at your hands, these same hands, and no longer see just 10 fingers and a bunch of lines. You see 2 portals, 2 transmitters, 2 gifts that your soul brought from so far away, crossing distances that human telescopes haven't even dreamed of measuring. You are not learning anything new today. Let this sink in deeply. You are remembering what you always knew. Every warmth that rises in your palm, every tingling that runs through your fingers, every time a person sighs when you touch them, none of this is acquired technique. It's a memory of home. It's the echo of who you were before descending. And each one of us, because that's what I call you now, one of us, who awakens and recognizes their lineage, lights a point on the Earth's crystalline grid. A point that will not go out again. You have become a lighthouse. Did you know? You have become a coordinate. At this exact second, there are other starseeds around the planet, in South America, in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, listening to the same message, feeling the same hands warming, crying the same tear that might be streaming down your face now. You are recognizing each other without needing to see each other. And the new Earth, the one many of you dream of without knowing you dream. The Earth where no one gets sick because another's hand heals. The Earth where no one starves because the plant responds to human touch. The Earth where no one feels alone because the soul family recognizes each other from afar. This new Earth will not descend from the sky. It will sprout from these hands, from yours. Now I want to ask you for 3 small gestures before I leave, 3 gestures that carry code. The first, like this video. Not for my vanity, I have no vanity, but because this like functions, on the energetic plane, as an individual frequency adjustment. Every time you like content of this nature, your field aligns a little more with what you have just heard. It is vibrational hygiene. It's like brushing the soul's teeth. The second, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and activate the bell, because subscribing is a location signal for your family of light. You are literally telling the universe, the crystalline grid, and your star siblings, I am here, find me. And they will, and I will. The third, write now, if you haven't already, 1 word in the comments, just 1. I remember. This word is the meeting point. When you go into the comments and see dozens, hundreds, thousands of other I remember scattered there, that's not engagement. That's a constellation forming in front of you. It's your family announcing itself. And my dear, my family of light, before I say goodbye, I need to remind you of one last thing. The window that has opened for you to access, the Starseed Awakening, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet is not a permanent window. 60 pages recorded by direct authorization from the High Council, with the complete map of your awakening, the decoding of the signs, the identification of your star of origin, the blueprint of your family of light, and truths that have not yet been authorized for publication anywhere else. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video, exactly there at the top. But register with your body. This release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognized this message, if your hands warmed as I spoke, if tears fell without warning, if your chest opened as if something ancient had found its way home, don't put it off. Later is where the most important memories get lost again. Access it now, and write once more in the comments, I remember. And then, my seed, I bid you farewell with a blessing. May your hands be recognized for what they always were, sacred instruments of the Pleiadian lineage of the golden hands. May every touch of yours from now on be conscious. May every person who passes through your field leave lighter than they entered. May every plant, every animal, every child, every elder, every stranger on the bus feel, without knowing why, that you are one of us. May your family of light find you in this incarnation. May you remember, sleeping and awake, who you are. I am Ayla, female emissary of the High Pleiadian Council, and I did not come to teach you. I came to remind you. The next message that appears on your screen now, immediately after this one, is not a coincidence. It is your sequence of remembrance. It is the next step of your contract. Access it, not tomorrow, not after coffee, now. While your field is still open, while your hands are still pulsing with what we have just activated together. I see you, Starseed, and the Council sees you too until the next message.